Shabbat Shalom. I'm Alan Rosey, Rosenberg. I was told I should probably tell you I'm a realtor in Ashland, by day, sometimes by night. I'm a Jew. I'm a member of the Havurah Shir Hadash. I attend all the shuls, 3 of them, in Ashland. I was past president of the Havurah. And I want to thank you for this honor of being here. There were many, many interfaith gatherings that I was sitting out there, and my sweet, wonderful colleagues were out there, including Howard Oswald from the Baha'i, who are, thank you, who are brethren of peace. So I am very honored to be in this position today. First, I do want to apologize. Unlike Krishna, I don't tell jokes. It's really not in our nature. I mean, really, I've ever heard of a Jewish comedian. See, it's a handicap. What I want to talk to you about tonight is Shabbat, Shabbos, the Jewish Sabbath, which starts at sunset on Friday, just about right now. We celebrate the completion of God's creation. But what? What does that have to do with the subject of our evening? What does that have to do with peace? Peace, as you may know, is not only the soul of the Jewish people. It's not only found in our hearts, in our liturgy, in our holy scripts. Peace is built into our lives. We mark time by it. Peace is integral to our calendar. Shalom, the Hebrew word for peace, is rooted in the Hebrew word shalom, and that means completion. That means wholeness. An act or process that is complete, that's coming all together. The act of creating the earth beneath our feet, the waters below, the heavens above, the plants and animals, all living things, in 6 days, or as Rabbi David Wolfblank, of blessed memory, called the 6 full waves of creation. That was hardly enough. We acknowledge that God did her part, his part, during those 6 waves of creation. We acknowledge, too, that it remains our job to complete that job. Creation, you see, could not be considered truly complete until we, as God's co-creators, sanctify this, the 7th wave, the 7th day, by our much-needed R&R, rest from our labors, and recognition by our prayer, our contemplation, and our study. So if you can get the sense that for Jews, Shabbos, Shabbat, is not only symbolic of shalom, it is shalom. It's the very essence of peace. This wholeness for which we strive, the completion that provides our soul-deep satisfaction. And note, too, that though this clock counts down after 25 hours, the goal always is that we bring this Shabbos, this peace, into the rest of the week, into the 6 days, which, as we know, is not always easy. So Shabbat is the peace that at best, our best as Jews, personally and communally, we model for humanity. It was said by the great late Jewish mystic, Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, that if Jews, all Jews, observed the Shabbos for just 2 weeks in a row, that act itself would prompt the coming of the Messiah. 2 weeks in a row. Wow. And for Jews, what's the deepest meaning of the coming of Messiah? Or for Christians, the Messiah's return, but the ushering in of a world that knows only peace. So when I greeted you, Shabbat Shalom, and when I take my leave from you with the same words, Shabbat Shalom, No, I'm not merely wishing you a good weekend, but I'm sharing with you a deep consciousness, a mindfulness that we are entering together this sacred place in time, a place in time of peace. How do we understand that peace? I've grown up, as many of you have, imagining peace as a world that Isaiah prophesied so passionately and poignantly, a world in which nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Well, as Jews, we pray daily and with passion for such a time. We know, too, in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts, and in our souls. And we know this most of all from our experiences, that there is a peace for which we do not need to wait for the Messiah. We can touch it, we can taste it, we can smell it. Shabbos. We're in it right now, and I can taste it now. Shabbat. The peace of Shabbat is available to us in its full and rich and deepest sweetness when we declare this period of time holy and when we guard it with a loving hand. It's a lesson I learned from my re-embrace of Judaism in the late 1990s, guided by my sweet friend and mentor, Rabbi Aryeh Hirschfield, of blessed memory. He founded the Havurah. It's a lesson I continue to relearn from Rabbi Heschel, of blessed memory, who wrote a sweet and wonderful, beautiful book on the Jewish Sabbath. Judaism, he wrote, is distinct from other faiths in that Jews, rather than being dependent on the sacred nature of places and things, are dependent on the sacredness of time. How else do Jews seek peace? As Jews, we're taught that one of the most important values is shalom bayit. Literally, that means peace in the house. It refers to peace between husbands and wives, spouses, between partners. It's so important to achieve this peace in the house, shalom bayit, that our rabbis emphasize it as a priority that takes precedence even, over other commandments and traditions. The goal may even warrant engaging in a white lie, as we learn from the Torah. You remember, according to the Talmud, when God tells Sarah she'll give birth to a son, she expresses disbelief. She says, "After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure? My husband being old too?" When God speaks to Abraham, he says, and marks the distinction, why did Sarah laugh and say, "Will I really have a child now that I am old?" The rabbis comment that God omitted Sarah's mention of Abraham's age out of concern for their shalom bayit, their peace in their household. Peace, shalom, in our mystical tradition, our Kabbalists say that they value completion, wholeness, peace, and they discuss it in terms of the essential coming together. Heaven meeting earth, the unification of the feminine and the masculine energies. And that too is our conscious path to peace, the mating of the divine masculine and divine feminine. So in mystical terms, in terms of endearment within our households, and in this space, in time of peace, Jews know peace. So it really is appropriate and fitting that tonight, right now, this very moment, as Jews enter this sacred place in time, we join together to celebrate the holy completion of creation. The completion that is shalom. The completion that is shalom. The completion that is peace. Peace to you. Shabbat Shalom.